What up, you scrubby ass nooblets? This is CombatEX recording another FP VOD. And this game is PvP on Shakura's Plateau. And this game, I'm going to be showing you guys just another really standard PvP build order. And again, with PvP, there's no real like standard, quote unquote, standard build order because it all depends on what your opponent does. So again, I just want to show you guys again how do you react to your opponent and all that good stuff. And just a quick thing I want to get out of the way is exams are like right around the corner, so I'm probably not. This is probably going to be my last video for like a week or two. You guys already noticed like there's a big video like gap, like a 1-2 week gap where I haven't posted a video already. It's because I've already been studying, but I figured I'd post a video letting you guys officially know that I'm actually not going to be posting videos for a while. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so yeah, let's get to this game now. Just, everything's really standard right now, trying to optimal mine, as you guys can see, and also chrono boosting, right when, I have enough energy to. Also, notice where I place my first pylon. Like always, I place it as close as possible to my nexus so I can get most minerals out of my, out of the probe that's making the pylon. Also, the gateway is very close, and to scout, just, casually scout for a proxy gate, just right in the middle of the map. That's actually not the best place to proxy. The best place to proxy is actually, I'll get into that when I actually post a video where I'm proxying. And, 13 gateway, 14 gas. Lots of people like to go 12 gateway. I personally don't like a 12 gate build. I don't really see the need to do it. I mean, like, I can't think of a Protoss build that actually makes you lose because your opponent's, as long as your opponent's like rushing you or something, I don't know. As long as you use your chrono boost properly, I don't see why a 12 gate is necessary. That's at least my opinion. Lots of people do 12 gate as opposed to 13. Most people actually do it, so maybe it is better. And alright, so early game PvP, it's all about harassment. It's all about harassing your opponent, harassing their probes, distracting the minerals, and you also have to notice their chrono boost energy. Also, again, remember PvP is like the most complex matchup in my opinion in Starcraft because you have to read so much. So right now, what's going through my head? I'm looking at his chrono boost energy. I know it's the same as mine, so I know the potential for a 4-gate is there, but he knows my chrono boost energy, so he knows that I have the potential for a 4-gate, but now that I took my second gas, he knows that I'm not going to be 4-gating, but since we both have the same chrono boost, he's probably not going to be 4-gating because he knows I have the same amount of chrono boost, and he won't have any sort of advantage 4-gating me because my warp gate will be done the same time as his. Now, the second thing that goes through my head is that he hasn't taken a second gas, and so what does that mean? He is pretty likely to do a 4-gate. I'm going to keep my probe in until my stalker comes out, and I notice, okay, yeah, so now I notice he's chrono boosting his cybernetics core and his gateway. Now the odds of a 4-gate are pretty unlikely. I'm pretty sure he's going to be going for some zealot stalker pressure because of the fact that he's chrono boosting his cybernetics core, and notice right when my stalker's out, that's when I leave his base with my probe, and that's how you want to do it. You don't want to leave the race any earlier than when a stalker comes out because your probe should be able to be microed around properly. And also, the thing I like to do against a 4-gate is chrono boost the crap out of my gateways, get mass stalkers out and just one sentry, and that will defend against 4-gate. Again, 4-gate hits around the 6-minute mark, so you guys always got to be worrisome at that time and get ready to force field at that time. And again, just microing a little bit early game, trying to get as many hits off as I can, and just running away when I see that. And again, like when you have 2 stalkers, easily should be able to kill a stalker and a zealot without actually losing a single unit. So if you micro properly, you should be able to win without losing a single unit. And now, again, just constantly just microing. And again, I know the odds of a 4-gate are still there. So notice where I'm running my stalkers. I'm not running them I'm running them to a position where I could potentially see a pylon. And also, notice that I'm microing like pretty well. And also, I'm constantly chrono boosting my gateways. Now I know that his pressure's probably not coming because if it was, I would probably be able to see it at this time. And again, just getting the sentry out ASAP, and just one sentry and the rest stalkers. And also, notice where I'm taking the watchtower with my stalkers, and I'm keeping that probe underneath there where I can see his units coming from if he's 4-gating. I don't think he's 4-gating anymore because he would have had a lot more and he would have been more aggressive with his pylons. So that's why I don't think he's 4-gating. And now with the sentry there, I'm pretty much safe from the 4-gate. I see a probe coming up. And so now I don't want him to get up my ramp. And if you guys don't think that it's worth the force field in PvP to make a unit not get up your ramp, it totally is. So I really recommend using a force field if you're guaranteed to deny a probe scout, because it's so important to just like not let your opponent get information. I see one sentry on the ramp, so now I know I'm thinking of DT tech path is less likely because of the one sentry. And now he warped in 2 zealots. Okay, there I see the robo, so I know he's not going to be going for a DT tech path. And He's corner boosting an obs out, so I don't know. I guess he's worried for some sort of DTs. I looked at his corner boost energy. It's again, it's all about reading your opponent. Now I know he's going for a robotics facility, so I know I'm safe to take my expansion because he's never going to be pushing me until he gets some sort of immortals or some sort of detection in my base to know what he's doing, what I'm doing. And by that time, my expansion would already have kicked in, and so I know my expansion is a very, very safe thing to do because he's not going to be pressuring me anytime soon. The only reason expansions are bad is because you always are worried about your opponent pressuring you. But with a robotics facility tech path, you know your opponent is probably not going to be pressuring you unless doing the 4-gate robotics, which he is not because I scouted his base and I know he has 3 gateways and a robotics facility. Holy crap, I'm talking really fast. Let's take a little bit of a break. Alright, back to this game. So, taking the watchtowers, and again, you always want to make you always want to keep a probe behind their nexus to know when they're going to be taking their expansion. It's very, very crucial so that you know when they're taking their expansion. He doesn't know when I'm taking my expansion, so he's going to be defending against Stargate play, against DTs, all that stuff. And I know he is taking his expansion, so what does that mean? Right when I saw that expansion go down, I immediately put down my robotic support bait because I knew he wouldn't be pressuring me. If I didn't see his expansion, I'd probably get an immortal, probably add another few gateways, but since I know he's taking the expansion, I know I'm going to be able to chrono boost my probes out and get tech up because I know he's not going to be pushing me anytime soon, and I have the watchtower, so I know he's not going to be pushing me anytime soon. Also, just getting the obs in his base because, again, I want to know what he's doing, and I'm also worrisome about my obs in his base. I know that can be sniped because at a higher level, you can easily see the observer detection and be sniped. And notice where my second obs is and my 2 stalkers. They're in that place where I know his obs is most likely to come, so I'm ready to snipe his obs. And he's warped in a stalker, so now I know his obs is somewhere in the area, and right when I saw that, I pretty much ran it away, and again, I'm just slowly poking up to see what type of units he has. His expansion is not done yet, so I know I have a huge economic lead over him right now, and getting a Colossus and Thermal Lance, you know, he's transferring his probes. He's corner boosting probes. That's another really, really important thing. I noticed he's corner boosting probes, so I know he's not going to be going for some sort of aggressive play anytime soon because of the constant probe production, or corner boosting. I'm also noticing he's making probes, and that's another important read because you know that your opponent's going to be macroing and they're not going to be going for an aggressive attack. They're not cutting probes to go for some sort of crazy attack. So again, noticing the chrono boost, noticing he's actually making probes. There's a building here. I just want to see what it is, and it's a robotics support bay. Cool. Or robotics bay. I don't know if it's called support bay anymore. And so right when I saw the robotics support bay, I knew I was able to put down my second robotics facility because, again, he's not going to be pushing out until he has the Colossus out. And it's always about knowing when your opponent's going to push out. Why am I taking this base right now? Because I know he's not going to push out until he has like 2 or 3 Colossus out. And by that time he has 2 or 3 Colossus out, I'll be able, that expansion would already have kicked in, and both my robotics facilities would already have kicked in. It's all about reading your opponent. That's why people don't like PvP that much, because you have to read your opponent so much. And just on a side note, that's why In Control is such a bad player, because he never scouts, he never reads his opponent, he just blindly does builds. And that's why I hate him to like death, because he's so freaking bad at this game. Anyways, so yeah, corner boosting his robotics facility, so I know he's going Colossus and he's going to be going Mass Colossus. And now he has a Stargate. Well, okay, now right when I saw that Stargate, notice what I did. I canceled my second robotics facility because I know he's going for the Void Ray Colossus Zealot army composition, which is decent. I don't really recommend it. And right when I saw that, I also know I need Mass Stalker Colossus now. And so what I did was I put on Mass Gateways and a Twilight Council. The Twilight Council is just to blink into the Void Rays and kill them right when they come out. Again, this is all going through my head just by seeing that Stargate. And again, PvP is completely reactionary. You never go into a PvP game thinking that this is the build I'm going to do, because you will lose at a higher level. And now this obs is here, but look, I just looked through my base. I didn't see any obs, and so now I'm putting that obs with my army because it's really, really crucial that your opponent doesn't know what your army composition is, because if they do, they can react accordingly. Because obviously it's a mirror matchup, so it's easy to know the hard. There's any unit composition has a hard counter, so. Well, most unit compositions have a hard counter, so again, denying your opponent your information of scouting. The PvP comes down to, at a higher level, denying your opponent from scouting and you scouting what they're doing. That's essentially what it comes down to at a higher level. And now, it's real. This guy's playing this really, really badly, by the way. He has not scouted me at all. He doesn't even know if I have a third base. He hasn't taken either watchtowers. I mean, like, he actually has not seen anything, and so, like, I don't know, like, he's, like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he's playing pretty badly. I don't know. That's at least my opinion on the game. And now I'm just going to get my obs and getting Twilight Council, and I'm ready to harass them a little bit. Always when you have Blink Stalkers, no matter what build you're going, Blink Stalkers should always be ready to harass. Not harassing, but always be ready to harass. The only time you should be defensive with Blink Stalkers is when your opponent has Blink Stalkers. It's the only time Blink Stalkers are not going to be cost efficient. Or just, you know, like, just always have them on the map. So now, just waiting for Blink to be done and going. Notice how I'm going to start cutting probes soon because again I'm on 3 base, he's on 2. I have the economic edge. He's going to be forced to go for an all-in, and so because he's forced to go for an all-in, I need to pump out a lot of units and be ready for that all-in. And when that all-in fails, then I can start making probes again. All going through my head just by knowing he's on 2 base and I'm on 3. That's again, it's very important. Notice I have a probe patrolling the bottom 2 bases, so I know that he doesn't have those bases. So I know he's actually on 2 base. And now just getting 1 sentry because you always want like 2 sentries when your army gets bigger, so you can force field your army. And then just moving in. Just again, these stalkers, they're not meant to die. They're just meant to kill whatever I can and then get out. That's all they're meant to do. Killed like 5 or 6 probes and pylon, well, soon to be a pylon, and their pylon goes down. And now I see the Colossus. I was debating on blinking into it, but I knew he's not stupid. His army would be right next to it, and so I just got a little bit of shots off and I ran. And notice I didn't lose a single stalker. It's very, very important that harass is actually harass. It's not some sort of suicide attack. And now I'm getting charged. Reason B, because I have mass zealots and I know he's going for a Colossus Void Ray Zealot and Stalker army, and so now I know I have to get charged for everything else besides the Void Rays. And now this is actually a really, really bad blink. Reason B, because he is pushing me right now and I have to defend this all in, and I'm not really defending it. I'm kind of going for like a weird counterattack when I shouldn't really be doing this because I'm able to kill this army with those like mass amount of Colossus or Stalkers if they were just back at my own base. And now I'm debating. I'm like, okay, do I have enough to kill this army? And I don't think I do, so I'm just going to keep running. Another really, really important thing in StarCraft in general is to always know when you have to engage. Like this, like I shouldn't be engaging this army, but like I realize that all I need is for my Stalkers to live because everything else can really die. I just need to kill the Void Rays. That's really what it comes down to when your opponent goes Void Rays. You just need to kill the Void Rays. Everything else just dies like to blink stalkers, like slowly but surely. Okay, this is bad. Like what I was anticipating in that battle was everything dies besides the Void Rays, and then I can kill the Void Rays with my reinforcing stalkers. But that's not what happened. I just lost. Like his whole ground army is still alive. So yeah, this is really bad. I thought that all my Colossus were enough to kill his ground army, but apparently not. And so now I'm in a pretty bad situation actually. His army was never bigger than mine, to be completely honest. I don't know why. And I'm debating on blinking here, but when I saw those units, I'm like, okay, no, blinking is not a good idea. Blinking is like a commitment. It's don't consider it an all-in, but it's like a big commitment. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna commit these stalkers into killing something, and if you don't, then you know you're losing all those stalkers. So it's a big commitment. And now I'm using probes. Well, I was attempting to use probes. It didn't really go too well. And oh my god, that was horrible. That's actually my fault. Like I should have known that he had more than me and I shouldn't have engaged. But me being a dumbass, like that's what you get for like not like knowing when to engage. And just trying to micro a little bit here. I can't here and there because I'm in a really big disadvantage. He has such a bigger army than me, and so now my only chance is to bring back all my units and hope for the best. And hopefully I can kill him while I'm bringing these units back and just making one last wave of units when I can, so then when the battle actually comes, I can just go and hopefully win the battle. And again, this is all going to come down to this one battle, so I got to micro this battle perfectly to be able to win. And getting these units up here, right when those units come, I'm going to engage because I don't see his Void Rays, so I'm assuming they're out of position somewhere. And so now I got to go before the Void Rays get back into position. And now again, microing, the game's going to come down to this battle, so micro it perfectly. Again, I'm letting my probes take the damage, microing some Blink Stalkers away from the Colossus, and now, yeah, okay, so the Colossus are dead. Now I need to just focus on the Blink Stalkers. I don't know where they are, but I know they're somewhere around here. And, okay, here they are. So yeah, just killed all the Blink Stalkers. I don't know why. If he had those Blink Stalkers with his army, he definitely would have won this game, but he didn't, so that cost him the game. And just about to kill the last Blink Stalkers, and, alright, there we go. All the last ones hopefully dies. This is actually a pretty damn close game, I'm not gonna lie. And alright, yeah, so that's gonna go down. Alright, yeah, so that's game. This game was actually a lot closer than it should have been, to be completely honest. I mean, like I played a lot better than this guy. It's just that I had one stupid engagement which cost me the game. I mean, like I was out expanding him, I was out reading him, and I had like more information this entire game. It's just he got me off guard with one stupid battle. I even knew his army composition, so I definitely played this game a lot better, and this was a deserved victory. I just messed up one small fight, or one big fight, I guess, which cost me the game. And so, I mean, like, yeah, like, I played this out really, really well, and I deserved to win. I should have won a lot more decisively if my army was in a better position, but it wasn't in a good position, so that's why I didn't win as greatly as I should have. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I really wanted to emphasize how important it is to read your opponent, like I do in all PvPs, because PvP is the most complex matchup, and you really, really need to read your opponent. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Again, exams are coming around, so I'm probably not going to be playing as much, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and subscribe to all my videos and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm thinking of some announcements. I mean, I'm gonna start streaming starting January for like almost every day because my school's done. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Remember, in control's bad, and that's all I gotta say. Peace out, guys.